All right. Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Lesli Bitel here. And I want to welcome you to my brand new webinar, hot off the press. I'm so excited to share this with you tonight. So I want to welcome you to a new webinar called Video Marketing Like a Pro, how to get more views, subscribers, and sales with live video, even if you hate being on camera. All right. Really excited to spend some time with you guys this evening. And we're going to go ahead and get started here in just a moment. All right. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and jump in. All right. So why did I create this webinar? Well, lots and lots of reasons, but mainly because I was once in your shoes, and I'm going to be sharing about my own personal experience with live video. I'll reference it actually a couple times throughout our time together this evening. The bottom line is this: I was once in your shoes, and I can absolutely relate to all of the fears, all of the concerns, all of the holdouts that you might be experiencing. And so many of the health professionals I talk to, they know they should, of course, using air quotes there, be incorporating video into their marketing strategy, but they get stuck and they struggle to get started. And sometimes they get started, but then they drop off. They have a hard time staying consistent because they don't have a plan. Most commonly, here's some of the fears that I hear. Let me know in the chat if you can relate. All right. They fear no one will show up, right? They aren't going to know what to say. They don't know how to structure their live streams to maximize the impact and to actually get sales. They think that they need special or maybe even expensive equipment before they get started. Maybe they hate how they look or how they sound on camera. Maybe they fear that they're going to come across as dull or boring. They worry that maybe they're too old or that they don't know enough. That's a common one too. Maybe they get overwhelmed about the process, which keeps them stuck. And of course, many of us worry about the technology. All right. So curious, did I pretty much cover all the fears? Are there any I left out? Let me know in the chat. All right. And also let me know in the comments which of these you can relate to. All right. Bingo. All right. Sarah, welcome. Okay. All right, awesome. Any that I missed out on? Okay, most everything. Mimi, all the above. Charisse, welcome. All right. Yeah, well, like I said, guys, I was there and I used all of those as a crutch, as a hindrance to getting started. All right, so 3 years ago, actually 3 years ago, almost to the day, it was 3 years ago, actually in December, come to think of it, 3 years ago, December of 2018, honestly, I got tired of listening to myself. I got tired of listening to myself and all of those excuses. Okay. I was stuck and I knew I needed help because I did recognize the incredible opportunity that video marketing provided. And guys, it's free, right? Free. So, but like you, I didn't know where to start, which is kind of interesting given the fact that I had given many, many webinars before, but whatever, I definitely had some hangups about it. And, and I'll tell you, oddly enough, one of my obstacles, and it's not on the list, and you guys might laugh, but it really is true. I was hung up on how do I repurpose my video content into different formats. I was telling myself, oh my gosh, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it right. Right. So I felt like I had to have it all figured out, which was kind of ridiculous in retrospect, honestly. So that was one of the other excuses kind of going through my mind. I didn't want to do it unless I had this perfect repurposing strategy for all the platforms, which honestly, looking back, was a huge distraction. And it was needlessly holding me back because honestly, it doesn't matter. So I had a lot of tech fears too. How many of you can relate to the tech? I was a little bit hung up on the tech, and I will share that my first Facebook Live back in December 2018, if you go on my Facebook page, you will not see this one because it is no longer there. It was a little bit of a tech nightmare, shall we say. So I went live via third-party app, and unfortunately, there was a terrible echo. I could not even hear myself think. It was so distracting. So I literally could not focus. I could say about like 2 sentences, and then I had to say, okay, guys, I got to go. I'll see you next week. So that was my first experience into the world of video marketing. But here's the thing, okay? And this is really important. I was able to get back in the saddle, okay? Which I'm going to be honest was really hard because, of course, I didn't have the best first experience. So I was afraid like, oh my God, now what's going to go wrong? But I did it. And I did show up the following week and it went fine. And I think the big takeaway here is, of course, yes, it was really, really tempting to quit almost before I got started. But because the tech was a little bit concerning after that initial experience, but I showed up, I continued to do so every single week, almost 3 years now. And so I am here to share in no uncertain terms, okay? If I can do this, so can you, okay? Without any shadow of a doubt. Here's the deal. You do not need to be a polished TV personality to create videos that will engage your audience. You don't need to be funny. You don't need to act wacky or have this like incredible sense of humor. Really, and I know this might sound cliche, but it's true. You just got to be yourself and let your personality shine through because that is what people want to see. In fact, I got to be honest with you guys, the best videos are often the ones that are raw, real, and heartfelt. In fact, I've heard this from my clients again and again, and sometimes it's perplexing because, they tell me that often their videos that are less perfect and are, really the ones where they just kind of show up, their hair's not all done, maybe no makeup. Sometimes those are the ones that do the best. And I've actually heard stories where, God, I don't know what it was, but this video went viral, right? So I think the big takeaway here is you got to push yourself. And I'm going to talk you through this. I'm going to hold your hand every step of the way tonight. And just remember the audience wants to see the real you. Okay. They really do. So of course, you don't want to try to be someone that you're not. Your audience is going to really appreciate your authenticity and it is going to help you to build trust with them. All right. So you might be feeling a little bit more inspired at this point, but maybe wondering about the nuts and bolts of the process. I would not be surprised. That's what we're here for. And that is what we're going to talk about tonight. So you are in the right place if you are tired of seeing, just bad information, bad nutrition, or bad medical info go viral on social media. And you feel kind of like, oh my God, I can't believe that did so well. You're definitely in the right place if you're tired of saying, I'll do it someday, but you can never seem to push the damn go live button to make it happen. That was me. You're ready to differentiate yourself and stand out from the crowd. And you know that video is the missing element of your marketing strategy. And you are ready, or at least curious. Hopefully by the end of tonight, you're going to feel ready to take action so that you too can share your knowledge and passion with the world. So today we're going to be talking about how health and wellness professionals can use video marketing effectively to grow their businesses and to really leverage that power of video marketing. So, honestly, to help you to connect with potential clients on a much deeper level. So specifically, why video is the best way to stand out from the crowd. And here's the thing, shortens the time required from your prospect discovering you all the way to becoming a paying client. That time period is greatly reduced by using video marketing. You are going to learn my simple 5-step video production process so that you can plan and execute your video content strategy without losing your mind, how to effectively promote your live streams to grow your audience and get more ideal clients to actually show up. I'm going to share with you the number one mistake practitioners make when it comes to a video content strategy that keeps them stuck. And of course, I'll let you know what to do instead and lots more. Remember, guys, a bonus for showing up is you get a free downloadable gift. Okay, so I'm going to be sharing the URL for that in a little while. So stay with me. And you're also, if you're an RD, you get 1 continuing education credit just for showing up. Okay, so that's exciting. And later, for those of you that decide that you're really ready to dig in and you want to master these strategies and you decide you want to launch your own video show, I will be sharing a little bit more about a special opportunity. And I will preface this by saying it is truly at a crazy low investment level, and it's designed to help get you there. So stay tuned for that. I'll be sharing about that later. All right, so without further ado, let's jump in. All right, so many of you I already know, I recognize your names. Welcome. For those of you who may be new to me and my work, my name is Lesli Bitel, and I'll just share a little tiny bit about my background. So I help health professionals create and launch online programs, create multiple streams of income, and essentially I help you to scale your private practice. And my goal is to help you make a bigger impact in the world doing the work that you love. And honestly, like you, I began my journey with a fervent passion for health and wellness. I was actually, I don't think I've ever told this story, but I was that nerdy kid whose favorite and most, I would say, most memorable childhood gift was a microscope set and a dead frog to dissect. What does that tell you? So that was me as a kid. And I'm sure that many of you can probably relate to that. So it was really a natural choice for me to go on and get degrees in dietetics and a second degree in exercise physiology, and to eventually practice as a clinical dietitian in the hospital setting. So I did a lot of different areas, including oncology, eating disorders, spinal cord injury, while spearheading the hospital's corporate wellness initiatives, and eventually then running my own successful private nutrition and coaching practice. So recognizing the critical nature in terms of understanding the business side of the entire health industry, really, I delved into completing my MBA in global business and worked for 3 Fortune 500 companies, kind of boots on the ground sort of thing, having 150 sales and marketing direct reports within the pharmaceutical and diagnostic testing industry. So really phenomenal experience, working with ad agencies, running, the marketing strategy for various products. So what I bring to the table is a mix of corporate sales, psychological behavior change, training, and really solid practitioner and clinical experience kind of wrapped up into one, which really helps me in my current role, where over the past 8 years, I've had the privilege of helping thousands of health professionals and wellness entrepreneurs build their dream practices with multiple streams of income. So that is a little bit about me. Flash forward now, I would say, gosh, I feel so fortunate to have built a solid business that generates multiple 6 figures every year consistently. my laptop in tow, regardless where I am in the world. Nowadays, I do like to travel a lot, and I feel like I'm able to do so without missing a beat in my business. And I really feel so strongly that video marketing is was the pivotal change that I made in my business. Video marketing is what allows me to do what I do on the scale in which I'm able to do it. So just a couple of recent photos, traveling, and a pic of me and my kids on a spring break. And so anyway, that is a little bit about me. And again, I share this with you for one reason, and that is because I know the power of video marketing. Um, and I was where you are. Trust me on that. And if I can do it, you can do it. Because I really did have quite a few obstacles to overcome to get myself set up and to be consistent with video marketing. All right. So if you're not yet convinced, I'd like to kick off our conversation today by sharing some really, I think, interesting statistics. And I think you're going to find this really interesting. And hopefully it's going to inspire you, again, to really drive home why video marketing is so critical in this day and age. Okay. So I was really, really curious about these statistics. So first, Cisco has predicted that by the end of 2022, obviously we're pretty much there, online video will make up more than 82% of all consumer internet traffic, 15 times higher than it was in 2017, which is absolutely huge. Not to mention, YouTube reports mobile video consumption rising by 100% every year, which is crazy. So if you're not using video yet, obviously you are missing out on a huge opportunity. But I want to emphasize, here's the thing. It is not too late to start. It is so not too late. So please do not let that obstacle creep into your mind. All right. All right. So a couple of other interesting stats to look at. 45% of people globally watch an hour or more of online video content every single day. 50% of people between the ages of 18 and 34 would drop their current task to watch a new video from someone they subscribe to or follow. Crazy, right? Little ADD there, I would say. 40% of millennials report trusting YouTube for high quality content, and 50% of people on the internet watch videos and product demos before purchasing anything. That tells us, folks, that video is an integral part of the buying journey for consumers today. Honestly, I got to be really upfront. I did not know this until I did a little research. Obviously, I was very well aware that, video is increasing in popularity, and, you just have to look at the algorithms on social media to draw that conclusion. And I also knew quite clearly that, like, just for an example, like, on Amazon, nobody buys anything. You don't even buy a book anymore without reading the reviews. But 50% of people actually watch demos, which is really super interesting. So bottom line, it's pretty darn clear, right? Video is a great way to build relationships with your audience and establish trust. And as a result, again, it is the shortest path to turn your prospects into paying customers and clients. That's my favorite part. It condenses the time required for you to develop that all important know, like, and trust. Okay. Of course, I don't believe in cutting corners or, hacks, so to speak, when it comes to business. I mean, I think we're all here for the long game. But the bottom line is that people are more likely to buy from someone that they know, like, and trust. And really, video, I feel so strongly, is the best way to really accomplish that and to build the relationship. So I would even go so far to say that whether we like it or not, video marketing is no longer optional, at least in my opinion. I wouldn't even say it's really no longer even a luxury, if that's the right word. I would say that it's actually a necessity in today's day and age. And really all signs indicate that it's here to stay. Like video is not going away anytime soon. So the question is, are you ready to start using it in your business? If you are, yay. If you're not sure where to start, that's why we're here. And I'm going to be sharing a lot more detail about that. So, really, um, my intention is to inspire you, motivate you, and to give you some strategies and tips to help move that process forward. Okay. All right. So, let's talk about some of the hidden benefits of video marketing. These are not quite as obvious. They're a little bit more, I would say, strategy related. Um, so they're not as obvious as getting a new client or selling your products right out of the gate, although that sometimes does happen. So let's talk through some of these. So for sure, video marketing is going to increase your authority, right? It's really going to position you as the go-to expert in the marketplace. And that is what we want. Okay. People see you speaking and talking and educating on your specific area of expertise. It positions you as the authority in your area, which is absolutely just so huge. It opens the door to speaker opportunities like online summits, conferences, even local news interviews, and sometimes even lucrative job opportunities. I'm going to be sharing a little bit later a success story with one of my clients. Her name is Sandra Galtree. And Sandra, actually, it's pretty amazing what video has done for her. And one of the things is, just to make a long story short, she, basically was discovered and offered a really incredible consulting gig through video. Okay. I mean, there are a few other avenues where this person became acquainted with her, but it really was amazing how that all worked out. So I'll share a little bit more about Sandra later, just as a case study, but it really opens a lot of doors for you that would otherwise, people just wouldn't otherwise know that you're out there. Um, it does, it helps you to, honestly, you can end up spending less time versus more time creating content. And I know that sounds a little bit strange because, you probably think, my God, video, it's going to take forever. But the interesting thing is that in the end, it really can save you a ton of time by making video your primary content format and then taking it and repurposing it into, like, let's say, a blog post, social media posts, and more. So I don't want you to get super bogged down like I was in the beginning with, oh my God, how do I do all that? Just know that, really the goal is to get started. And then later you can take those videos and repurpose them. So it's not like you have to worry about it now. But the bottom line is our goal then is to help you to squeeze as much gold as you possibly can from every single video. So, like, just as an example, I have some clients who say, oh my God, the thought of sitting down and blogging, like, I just don't want to do it. It just is horrible. Right. And sometimes they will say, gosh, but I don't mind jumping out a video. Like, I can talk all day long. Right. So it kind of depends on your comfort level. Well, in those cases, it's really, really easy just to record a video and get a transcript and then take that transcript and turn that into a blog. And you can also do it the other way. So if you're a person who's like, oh, I'd much rather write than speak, but you end up wanting to do both, of course, because of course we want to do video. Well, you could take a blog. If you like writing, you could take that blog post and turn that into a video. So those are just a couple of examples of how in the end it really will save you time. And video content will help you to generate organic which is another word for free traffic from YouTube, all the social media platforms, Facebook, Google, Instagram, even LinkedIn. And it is free. Okay, let's not forget about that. It's free, like crazy, right? With minimal equipment, the commitment to show up and a plan of action. Honestly, that's all you need to create your own video show. Okay. You need a plan, right? You probably need a content plan, but you don't need a whole lot more. And you certainly don't need a budget because it is free. All right, so now that I've laid out all the reasons why video marketing is a super, super smart choice for your business, let's talk about how you go about creating videos that your audience is going to love. And specifically, how do you create videos that are interesting and engaging, honestly, without pulling your hair out in the process? So, what I want to share with you now is my simple 5-step video production process that is designed to help you to plan and execute your video content strategy. All right, so let's dive in. So I've divided this into 5 steps. All right, so I would say the first step is to get clear on what you want to talk about. Okay, get clear on what you want to say. And it, of course, this might seem like no brainer, but it is important that you just take a little bit of time to figure out what you want to say before you start shooting. Now, to be clear, this does not mean you have to memorize a word for word script. Okay. In fact, I really don't recommend that you do that, but here's what you do need. Okay. You need a title, you need a hook. Okay. What's in it for your audience? You need maybe a couple of teaching points, 3 at the most. And you do need a call to action, or CTA, which we're going to talk about in more detail in just a moment. I do want to note that, just as an FYI, we go into a ton more detail on how to structure your video content in the program that I'm going to talk to you about in a little while. It's a brand new video marketing course called Create Your Own Video Show. So I'll share a little bit about that later. But for now, I want to recommend, here's an action step. I think it would be really helpful if you took some time and just brainstorm maybe 4 or 5 topics to get you started. And a good way to start, because a lot of times a holdout or, kind of an obstacle that I hear is, I don't know what to talk about. I can't think of anything, right? I can only think of maybe 1 or 2 things. Well, I promise you that is not the case. But what I would recommend is just start thinking, think of a handful of topics that would be interesting. And a good way to go about it, start thinking about the questions that you get. What are the questions your audience asks? Or, what are some areas that they're consistently stuck on? And really your goal, I would say you're aiming to move them forward a tiny bit with each video, okay? You're not giving away the whole caboodle for free, which sometimes is a fear as well, but you're giving them a tip or, maybe a couple strategies just to move the ball forward every video, okay? So you do need to be strategic. Just think, what would be a small win or tip be for each video? And that would be great. So maybe do a brainstorm on what are some really common questions that you get, right? And you could do a video on those. That would be a really fine place to start. So bottom line is this: you want to be clear on the message that you want to share, and you want to get clear on those core takeaway points that you want your audience to gain as a result of watching the video. And you do always want to include that ever important call to action so that you derive benefit from all of your efforts, right? And I do want to just acknowledge that you got to ask for what you want usually, right? Because people are not mind readers and they may not know what the next step is for them that you recommend. So that is your call to action. You want to decide in advance, here's another action step, which platform that you'd like to focus on. I always recommend just pick one to start. I know if you're like me, I thought I could, be the overachiever and go right out of the gate, mastering all the platforms. Don't do that to yourself. It will just hold you back. Okay. Because it's overwhelming and probably not even possible. So just pick a platform, pick the one that your audience is on, right? Pick the one that you like and just go with it. And just don't overthink it. So you want to pick the platform that you want to focus on. And then you're going to want to decide also, are you going to do live video or pre-recorded? Okay, so that is another decision point. Personally, this is me and my thinking. I do live. I decided to go live and I do it for multiple reasons. Lots and lots of reasons. But I think the main one is that I find that live works best for me because I don't waste a whole bunch of time being a perfectionist. Okay. I know otherwise I would do a whole bunch of, retakes, reshoots, like, oh, maybe I can do it better. It would be kind of a mess. So I do it live. When it's done, it's done. I move on to the next thing. The other thing is it keeps me accountable. So I go live every Thursday at 12:30 Central, pretty much without fail. Although Thanksgiving, I'm not going to go live, but otherwise, I mean, it's pretty much every single week. And so it creates a habit for me. More importantly, though, it creates a habit for my audience, right? So I have a loyal audience and they always know, Thursday at 12:30 Central, tune into Leslie's live show. Okay. So that is one of the reasons why I really like it, but it kind of depends on the platform that you choose. Bottom line is the format and the content of your video is really going to depend on your goals and really how you want to structure your videos. Okay. All right. So you're going to want to start with an outline or a script. So this is step 2. So once you know what to say, I think it is time to start, just write a simple outline or even a script. Now, a script can be helpful, and fully acknowledging that in my early days, I actually would write out a script. It was kind of more, I think, just to relax me. And I don't know, I just found it helpful. It's not like I necessarily read the script. I don't think I ever did that. And I don't recommend you do it either. I think an outline is fine. But if it gives you comfort and kind of helps you to mentally plan what you're going to say, I think writing a script is a fine idea. Okay. You do want to try to maintain eye contact into the camera. So that is why, most likely a script isn't going to work out so well, because you lose that eye contact. I mean, it's okay to look up and down a little bit, but you don't want to be like staring at your screen reading, because, it causes a disconnect with your audience. All right. But again, I think, for many of us, writing a script can be super helpful as a starting point. And at minimum, I do recommend you do an outline, because this is really going to help you to stay on track. It'll help ensure that your video is cohesive and it makes sense and that you're not just rambling, right? If you're more comfortable with winging it, of course, that's okay too. But I, at minimum, would have a few key points planned that you want to hit so that you don't forget them. And I would also say that just kind of thinking through the process, I think when it comes to promoting in advance, you want to get, and we're going to talk about how to get people to show up here in just a little while, but in order to entice people to show up, you do need to let them know what you're going to talk about, right? So that is another reason why I do recommend that you come up with a title and a hook. Let them know what's in it for them, and then a little outline. Okay. So you do want to have a little structure in place. Keep things concise. Okay. One mistake, and I'm sure many of you can relate, I certainly can, is, we try to pack too much info into each video, right? We end up fire hosing people, and generally it's not helpful. people have a really short attention span, I would say, especially, the general consumer market. So you want to really try to be concise, and especially depending on the platform. As an example, if you decide to pick YouTube, and let's just say you're going to pre-record your videos for YouTube. So YouTube has a different vibe, right? There's not a ton of chit chat. It's kind of like, okay, you go to YouTube to like just get to the point, right? So you do want to be cognizant of that. And you want to be concise so that you keep your audience engaged. And just to remind you that don't feel like you have to share everything in one video. You can split things up. Like, let's say you have a really big topic. Why not split that up into a series? Like, you could do a 3-part series on that topic, which is a fine idea. So, all right, so let's go to the next step. So this is step 4. We touched on this already, but let me repeat it. We do need a call to action. Okay. So every single video, you do want to include a CTA or call to action. And this is just their next step. Like, what do you want them to do next? So do you want them to subscribe to your channel or to your show? Do you want them to comment on the video? Do you want them to maybe share it with their friends? Do you have a free gift for that you want to share? Maybe you want them to book a call or maybe even buy something. So there's a lot of different options here and a lot of different strategies behind them. So obviously here we can't go into all the nuances, but suffice it to say that you do want a CTA. We go in a ton of detail in terms of the options in my new program, Create Your Own Video Show. But in the meantime, make sure that your CTA is clear and concise, and you only want one. Okay. So this is a really common question because it is super tempting to, give people like 3 things to do instead of one. But remember, a confused mind does nothing. They take no action. So one CTA per video. So you don't want to give a whole bunch of different options because chances are people are going to get confused and really not do anything. All right. All right. Number 5, this is probably, not a surprise, but I do recommend that you do a quick run through. And ideally, you're going to articulate the words, right? Versus doing a run through by reading. Okay. There is a really big difference there. I think this is where the fun begins because it's almost time to start shooting your video. So if you're going to do live video, you want to make sure that you, of course, test your audio and your lighting beforehand, make sure everything's working properly. I'd say that's the case, even if you are going to shoot a pre-recorded, because I do remember one time, and I'm sure my team remembers this too. I record, or I thought I recorded a course, for a video for a course. And lo and behold, I can remember one time my screen wasn't showing, right? So the screen share didn't work. And another time I thought my sound was on, but it wasn't. So regardless, you want to test. All right. So, and you can always do short takes too, right? Like, don't feel like you have to, do like an hour-long video if you're going to pre-record and get it all perfect. And then like, if you mess up, you feel like you have to start all over, right? You can definitely go back and do some editing yourself to fix any errors. Like, there's some really user-friendly video editing software that's available nowadays. The other thing, guys, this is like kind of obvious, but I've seen it before where someone's really, really nervous and they're trying so hard and they forget to smile. I've seen it. So you really want to remind yourself, put a sticky note on your phone or on your computer to remind yourself to smile. It's hugely important, especially on video. It'll put your viewers at ease. It'll put you at ease just by, the act of smiling. And it is, try to have some fun, try to relax a little bit. And I do know it's easier said than done. And I know you've heard this before, but people are very forgiving, right? When it comes to video. So I don't want you to get stuck on worrying about being perfect because, especially with live video, it is just not even possible. All right. So you got to just kind of put that out of your mind. All right. So whether you decide to have a live video show or pre-recorded, you do want to have a plan in place to promote your show, right? And I'm going to share some strategies in order to help you do this because that's the whole point, right? You want people to show up so that they can experience you and all of your goodness. So the best way to do this, I think, is to start building the buzz beforehand. And this way, when you go live or when you post your video, you already have an audience that's interested in what you have to say. So let's talk about some of the strategies and the best ways to help you to promote your videos. First is social media, and um, that social media is great because it can help you to generate interest. You can post about your video really before, during, or after the show. And, just a reminder to try to use compelling hooks when describing your video. You want to let people know what's in it for them. Okay. So, like your titles, your subtitles, your descriptions, really try to focus on why should they listen? What's in it for them? Super, super important. Of course, you can use relevant hashtags to attract the right people. You can tag other people or businesses that you are mentioning, recommending, or if you're using a particular product or service. So kind of like kind of piggybacking on in terms of other companies, other people, getting some FaceTime that way, right? By tagging. And you can share your show on other social media channels. So just as an example, if you're going to do a video series on YouTube, why not or post about it and promote it on Instagram and Facebook, right? So so regardless of your platform of choice, you want to be cross-posting. One of my favorite ways to promote is actually email marketing. So my team and I were really, really consistent with email marketing. So what you can do is send out an email blast to your list to let them know about your upcoming show. Okay. So many of you may be aware of this, but what we do in my business is we send out two emails per week, and one is a newsletter, and we talk about what we're going to be talking about during the live show. And then on the day of, which again is Thursday, we will send a reminder that morning on the topic. And we'll also include the link, right? Because people, they sometimes get confused. They don't know where to go. So just remember to always include the links to make it really easy for them to catch. And then remember to let your followers know when your replay is available so that they can watch it even if they missed. And just as an FYI, again, in my particular business, we get a lot of views on the replays, like surprisingly. So I guess I just want to mention that if you're going live, and let's just say you don't have a whole bunch of people there, do not despair. In fact, my recommendation is just keep going. Don't even sweat it in all honesty. Because the reality is that you very well may get lots and lots of views on the replay. Okay. All right. Where else you can promote your video content? On your website, right? You can actually embed your videos on your website, which is a great idea. You can create a resources page on your website specifically for video. And another thing you can do is to promote your video content through your blog posts, which I think is another super powerful strategy. As a matter of fact, another strategy that you can implement is to promote, you can create a blog post or an article featuring your video content. So let me say that again. You can even create a blog post or article featuring your video content. So in other words, like you could send out a newsletter, right? And you could feature your YouTube, or you could post a blog and feature a video inside of your blog, right? So you're kind of like cross pollinating. And it really is showing or proving to be, this strategy in particular is proving to be a great way to improve your search engine optimization, SEO, and to drive more traffic to your site, which is a beautiful thing. All right. All right, so a little bit more of an advanced strategy. Just kind of put this on the back burner for now, those of you that are new, but because you don't have to pay for views, okay? But you can later on, if you want to expand your reach, you can run paid ads. And you know, we do that in my business. So I've been running Facebook ads for a really long time. And just to kind of give you an idea as to how we go about doing that, we start by creating an event on my Facebook business page. Okay. And actually now we're creating events in all of my private Facebook groups and you know, inviting people to that event, which is a really nice, handy thing that you can do now in Facebook groups. But anyway, back to the ads. So we run the paid ads on both Facebook and Instagram to the event before the live stream. And then we run paid ads to the recording. Okay. And what ends up happening is we get a lot more eyes on the videos as a result. So it is a great strategy, but again, put that on the back burner for now. Just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. And of course, you know, you want to try to repurpose as much as you can, which is the place that we are at now. So essentially, I take all the video content that I create, and we cut and splice and chop it up and, you know, put it into different formats. So I am finally to that place where, you know, I can take that video and repurpose it into multiple formats, including Instagram Reels, okay, which is kind of nice. But again, back burner that one. All right, so other ways to really help you to promote is, I mean, this is really a favorite of mine, and that is collaboration with other professionals. You know, especially people out there, people, practitioners, businesses who serve the same target audience as you, albeit in a different way. Okay. Love that strategy. You can also collaborate with other professionals. You can, you know, try some guest blogging. You can, you know, try to get interviewed on, you know, various podcasts and those types of formats. And as your call to action, or like in the summary of the podcast, just as an example, you can potentially lead people to your live show. So that's another great way. Of course, you can do joint webinars. Like there's a lot of different ways you can get the word out. And you just want to make sure that you're choosing collaborators who have audiences that would be interested in your content, right? So that almost goes without saying. And then you can dip your toe into paid sponsorships, right? Say that's a more advanced strategy, right? Because they're going to want to know, you know, how many people do you have showing up? How big is your audience, right? Like, so that's more advanced, but it is a possibility later on where you can connect and reach out to businesses that you think would potentially be a good fit for your show. And you can potentially offer them an opportunity to sponsor maybe an episode, or, you know, maybe a whole season of shows. Bottom line is this: there no big surprise, right? There's really not a one size fits all solution when it comes to promoting your videos. So it is somewhat, you really got to experiment, try different things. And yeah, and I think, you know, The key to it, guys, be consistent, right? Add a new strategy to get the word out and stick with it. Create a habit. It's almost just like what you would tell your clients, right? You're not expecting your clients to change everything overnight. You're going to like slowly help them adapt these changes into their lives. Same with this, right? So you're going to pick one thing, create a habit, really stick with it, and then when you've mastered that, you're going to add another strategy. You're going to layer it in. All right. All right. So again, I get it. I've been where you are right now. When I first started this journey, again, 3 years ago, I had so many questions. I had fears, had a lot of kind of mental, I just had some obstacles in all honesty. Um, Really every obstacle probably that you can possibly think of. I kind of had, or I did have. Um, I did end up, incidentally, I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but I ended up hiring a video coach because I knew that I just wanted to get out of my own way. I really needed a plan, and there was really nothing out there at that time that just like gave me the plan, right? Like, here's how you do it. That's really what I was looking for. So I actually hired a pretty high end coach who walked me through it. Now, kind of flash forward, I have a weekly show, Live with Leslie, and I get thousands of views. I feature amazing guests every single week, and I really feel that it provides a ton of value for my audience every week. If you guys haven't joined me, I hope you will as a result of coming to this webinar. So, um, again, I go live every Thursday, 12:30 Central, and I really love the entire process. So I went from being terrified to loving it and really enjoying it and really like being able to do it pretty much off the cuff, which is really points to how much doing it helps build that skill, right? That just the whole skill set improves. So not only does video help me to show up, to really showcase my personality, maybe my coaching style, but it also really helps me stand out from the competition. I don't think there's anybody else in my space who shows up consistently providing free value. And it really helps me to convert my audience into paying clients. So before we talk about converting your clients or your audience into paying clients, and we're also going to cover the number one biggest mistake that's really, really common for health professionals when creating video content. I do want to just talk to you a little bit, just for a couple minutes, about that special opportunity that I had alluded to. And to kick this segment off, I do want you to just imagine, if you will, if you'll indulge me, imagine in a few short weeks from today that you are actually excited to hit the go live button on your camera. Can you picture that? You're excited, maybe a little bit nervous, a little bit intimidated at the same time, but mostly excited because you have a plan. You know it's important to stay ahead of the competition and expand your reach. So you dive in. You're like, you're there. I'm doing this. And you're able to follow a step-by-step system and plan to help get you there. Now, I do want to say that previously only available for my private clients, and part of my one of my other new courses called Supercharge Your Sales System. I've since decided to open up this brand new course called Your Own Video Show, the hows and whys of Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and more. So this is that opportunity I was sharing a little bit earlier about. And I just want to mention a couple things before I share what's included and some of the intricacies here. I do know from experience, again, just how incredibly powerful video marketing is. And my goal with releasing this program to you is I want you to tap into the power of live video or just video marketing in general so that you can grow your business, right? I want you to be able to do that. I have to say I've had the privilege of helping many of my own clients successfully integrate this same video strategy into their own business and really reap big time rewards as a result. So I know it works. And leveraging the power of video, it's just been a complete game changer. So consider this your invitation. This is a info packed self-paced course. And again, one big goal to teach you everything you need to know to create and launch your own video show so that you can attract. I want you to be able to grow your audience with more committed, high paying clients who are ready to say yes because they already feel like they know, like, and trust you. Okay. So your own video show, the way I've designed the program, it's a step-by-step system to create your own video show, customizable templates for every single step. It does include everything you need to get started, including a content calendar with a year's worth of content, customizable templates for every step of the process, tips for leveraging your live show to attract new clients, and lots more. All right. So we're going to talk, I'm just going to walk you through, the modules just so you know it's included. All right. So module 1, why create a video show? So we go into a little deeper around, more of the benefits of creating a live video show. And here the goal is you're going to decide exactly who your show is for and what type of content is going to resonate for your audience. Module 2, choosing a platform to host your video show. So again, there's lots of different platforms you can pick from. So in this module, the goal is to kind of learn more in depth about the pros and cons of each platform and really to make a decision, right? Like that is a decision. That's another thing that kind of held me back, to be really honest. Should I do Instagram? Should I do Facebook? Should I go live in my private group or should I go live on my business page? Like all of those things. And again, guys, those things held me back from starting. Module 3, tech and tools. So here you're going to learn about all the tech and tools you need to create a successful video show, especially if you want to bring it up a notch or two. Okay. You're going to get a handy cheat sheet with links for everything that I recommend. Module 4, this is where we get into the nitty gritty. I'm going to teach you how to craft your intro. Okay. So this is the first thing that your audience will see and hear. And it's really important to start strong. Okay. So in this module, you learn how to craft an engaging and effective intro that is going to set the tone for the entire show. Okay. You're going to learn how to hook those viewers with an interesting story or statistic and how to let them know what they can expect, right? What's in it for them. And you're going to also learn how to create engagement. Guys, that's so critical with video, how to create engagement by asking questions and encouraging viewer participation. And bonuses or different PDFs that you'll get your attention grabbing intro, fill in the blank style worksheet. And this is going to guide you through the process of creating your intro using the we call it an introduction matrix. So module 5 is about creating, really getting clear on your content. So we'll get into really the meat and potatoes of your show and how to create content that's interesting and informative. And you're actually going to start planning out your content, right? So it's not just like, okay, here's the theory. You're actually going to start doing it. Jam-packed with worksheets in this particular module. Okay. 20 fill in the blank video show titles, 25 live stream topic prompts, your content buckets, and this is going to help you to brainstorm ideas, plus the content matrix worksheet to keep your talking points really clear and concise. Module 6 is your outro, and you're going to learn how to end your show on a high note with a strong outro. Okay. And of course, that does encompass your CTA. Okay. You're going to get a couple of really solid PDFs, outro and call to action worksheet, and a high converting call to action swipe file to give you lots of ideas. Module 7 is your show flow. Okay. So in this particular module, you'll put together all the pieces to create a smooth and professional show flow so that your show really goes smoothly. You're going to learn how to promote your show and keep the momentum going even after your broadcast is over. And we will talk more about specific repurposing strategies so that you can really try to get the most mileage out of each video. Okay. You get several really solid, awesome PDFs in this module as well, including the live show action plan, 16 fill in the blank style persuasive bullet points. Guys, writing bullet points is an art and a science. So you're going to get a really helpful fill in the blank style PDF to help you with that, and a fillable show flow worksheet. And this is designed, it's something that you can use over and over again to plan out each of your subsequent shows. All right. Really, I think it's the only soup to nuts video marketing course that is designed specifically for health and wellness professionals. Okay. I don't know of anything else like this on the market. It is super comprehensive. You're going to feel super confident, well prepared, and ready to launch. Again, 7 modules, just a ton of worksheets, templates, scripts, and more. These are all the resources that I honestly wish that I would have had. Honestly, I would not have had to spend thousands of dollars hiring a video coach if I would have had this course. This is the course that I wish I had. A few really cool bonuses. Number one, a customizable content calendar. And this is going to give you 52 weeks of topics. So you can essentially prepare your entire year. Bonus 2, a video show checklist, right? So this is a handy checklist you can keep by your computer to make sure that everything is covered before you go live. Number 3, a video show script template. And this is going to help you to write your show script so you can be prepared, again, for anything that comes up. This is a really cool bonus. Number 4, a live show graphics pack. Okay. I'm really excited about this. It includes all the templates and graphics that you need to brand your live show like a pro. And that alone is valued at $97. All right. So just to recap the bonuses, number 1, customizable content calendar, $47 value. Number 2, video show checklist, $17 value. The video show script template, $77 value. And bonus for the live show graphics pack, which honestly, I think that one's huge. That is valued at $97. So total bonuses, $238, just all that alone. Okay. Here's a bird's eye view of everything you get when you enroll today. So super comprehensive. Oh, and one other really cool thing. So, you get all the training modules, right? And it's yours for life. All the scripts, all the handouts, everything when you enroll today. Okay. I did decide to add a live Q&A session. Okay. So this is exclusively for your video show, all of my students. Okay. So this is going to be held on November 29th at 11 a.m. Pacific, 12 Mountain, 1 o'clock Central, 2 o'clock Eastern. So just in case you want to mark your calendar, so you have plenty of time to plan. All right. So I want you to get your questions answered, and I want to help coach you through any obstacles you may experience. All right, guys. So how much is it? Well, to be honest, it's worth at least $997. Okay. But it didn't quite feel right to me, honestly. So, oopsie. All right, there we go. So I wanted to keep the investment honestly really reasonable. So I decided to take it from $997 to $297. Pretty darn good, right? But I can even do better than that. If you know me, I like a good deal. So here's the offer, guys. $247, right? When is the last time you saw a super comprehensive program, including live coaching, for $247? call me crazy, seriously. But anyway, it's $247. I mean, really the bonuses are worth that alone. Okay. And so just remember it's seven modules plus four bonuses plus the live Q&A call. Okay. $247 only if you enroll. So there is a little catch. You got to enroll by midnight on November 28th. So it gives you a little time, but why wait, right? I would just say go do it. You want to head over to, you see the URL on the bottom, yourownvideoshow.com. Okay. Head over there, click enroll, and let's do this. A couple of little case studies to share. This is Dr. Emma, and some kind words from Emma, and really just to kind of vouch for the detail and depth of my programs. All right. So hope I inspired you. Let's go ahead and get back to today's training because I have a few more juicy things that I'm going to share. Okay. In terms of content. And then guys, we are going to take a few minutes for Q&A as well. All right. So let's talk about converting your audience into paying clients. Okay. That's the whole reason. I mean, at the end of the day, right? We want to eventually be able to monetize our efforts. And, that really is the whole reason, right? We want to attract people into our world. We want to develop that all important know, like, and trust so that they're comfortable in moving forward with us. And seriously, guys, I cannot tell you how awesome it feels when you get on the phone with someone and they're like, Lesli, I already know you. Like, I already know you. I know the quality of your work because I've been watching you for 3 years on video. I'm ready. Right? Or you go to a meeting and people are like, oh, I know you, I see you on video. It's really incredible when that happens. All right. There are a few ways that you can move your clients from knowing about you, watching your videos, and convert them into paying clients. One way, so I'm just going to cover a few strategies. Again, we go into a lot more depth on everything we've touched on today in the Your Own Video Show course. But one way that you can do this is to include links to your products and services in the description box or even the comment section of your videos. Okay. You can convert viewers into clients to showcase your solutions. So as an example, you could do a video series on how to use your product or service, or you could even do like a case study video showing how your product or service has maybe helped someone else, another client. Maybe, let's see, because we've got lots of different ideas. You can use video to create kind of that sense of scarcity and urgency around your products and services. So just as an example, you could do like a flash sale or an offer, or offer a discount for people who watch your video and then purchase your product within a certain period of time, right? So that I think is a great way to increase sales and create that excitement, sense of urgency, and entice people to actually take action. Now, you may not be super comfortable selling directly on video, which is fine. Honestly, my favorite thing to do is to offer a free thing like a PDF or, free guide or checklist in exchange for your viewers' email. So give them an option to grab a freebie. And that way you get them on your list, right? So that is honestly my favorite way. And then you get them on your list, you send newsletters, you develop that relationship further, you invite them to more videos because, they're on your list, and lo and behold, before you know it, they become ready to move forward. I want to touch a little bit on confidence because it's really important, especially when you're scared, right? Especially when you first start. And it is a concern that I get with a lot of people that I coach, and it's valid. It's completely valid. And just remember, that is the reason I created your own video show in the first place, is to really help you assimilate all of these things, so that you feel really comfortable and confident. But here's the deal. It is hard to create videos when you are super nervous and awkward. But it is fixable. Like, it is, I really think it's a skill that you can develop over time. And here's just a few things to keep in mind. Again, we talked about this earlier. Smile puts everybody at ease, including yourself. And it is so interesting how we can forget to smile. So show your teeth, smile. And I think it really is super helpful. Just remember, be yourself, right? You don't have to, come across in any certain way or try to emulate somebody else. Just be you. Okay. Practice. Honestly, this is one skill that when you get going, like, you will be amazed at how much easier it gets. Like, I cannot begin to tell you. Um, and the only way to improve is by doing it on a regular basis. So really, the moral to this story is to practice and just do it. Try to have some fun, have a little sense of humor, be able to laugh at yourself, right? Take some deep breaths and just remind, especially if you can always edit the video, right? Like, and you can always delete the video if it just, it doesn't turn out. Like my first video, you better believe I went in there and I deleted that because, yeah, I didn't want that sticking around for eternity. So, don't overthink it, right? Equipment. The good news is that you don't need a whole lot just to get started. Like, you may want to up your game later on. And of course, I give you a very comprehensive list of things that you might consider in the Create Your Own Video Show course. But the reality is, like, you can start really simple. A tripod for $20 at Amazon or Walmart. You can, your cell phone is a great option. And I would just say, have a good light source. Some people get a little hung up on the light. Try not to do that. Like, if you can be in front of a window, that is your best case scenario. And just remember, just start with that and upgrade as you desire later. All right. So I want to share, what's the biggest mistake people make when it comes to video. I'm sure this is not a shock, but it seriously is the biggest mistake. Overthinking everything and just making it more complicated than it has to be. So, really the big mistake is overthinking, overcomplicating the whole process and staying stuck on the starting line instead of just getting started. Okay. I don't want you to do that. So you want to try to keep it simple. None of this has to be, rocket science. Seriously, just a little bit of planning. I do find one of the biggest challenges for entrepreneurs in general is just like time management, and lack of structure. So if it were me, and that's why I decided to go live, right? Because then I was committed. I got to show up. I said I was going to show up. I have to show up. But so I would pick a day and time, like a day and time every single week without fail. You're either going to go live or you're going to film. Okay. So that's what I recommend. And then really remember, the key is consistency. And just remember, you can do it. Really. Again, if I can do it, I swear anybody can do it. The more you do it, the more you are going to get comfortable, the more views you're going to get, the more awesome clients you're going to attract. Okay. So I am going to open up the chat for some Q&A in just a minute. But again, I just want to remind you to go ahead and enroll into your own video show. $247, right? Including a live Q&A, 7 amazing modules, tons of templates. I don't think I've left a stone unturned in this course. We thought of everything. Plus, you get over $200 worth of some really incredible bonuses, including a live show graphics pack, and then the live laser coaching call. So all of this for $247. But just remember, you do have to enroll by midnight, November 28th to get the special deal. All right. So my last reminder is just head over to yourownvideoshow.com. You can see the URL on your screen and enroll, and you guys get instant access. Okay. So you get instant access to the training and all the bonuses. All right. A couple of other little stories that I want to share. So this is Alex McKee, and I share her with you because Alex is an example of someone that successfully implemented many of the strategies that I teach. And as a result, was able to overcome a lot, like in her words, just enormous fear and anxiety that was related to promoting her business. So very successful now. And then the wonderful one and only Miss Sandra Goldtree. And Sandra is a dear client, absolutely love her. And so I do want to mention Sandra because Sandra, this is a really cool story. So I started going live 3 years ago, December. Sandra jumped on her journey about 2 weeks after I started. Okay. So almost 3 years for Sandra as well. And I know, first of all, I know how much it's helped her speaking skills and ability and her confidence, just how she shows up. And I know because I've known her for such a long time, how she's gotten clients as a result of this strategy. Like she will get people that come to her and they say, you know what, Sandra, I chose you out of everyone else I was looking at because of your video, because of how you came across, right? You just seemed like so approachable and knowledgeable. And it just really instilled that sense of confidence. In her words, like she talks a lot about how it helped her build her business, but especially, the ability to expand in terms of her visibility. It really helped her to drastically increase her reach, right? Her ability to reach people that she otherwise just would not be able to get in front of. And it definitely helped to increase confidence and, just being in front of the camera, showcase her expertise. And she's able to reach the masses in a way that feels really personal and authentic. I know for sure it's also helped her to grow her email list exponentially. I know for sure it has gotten her clients 100%. And additionally, as I mentioned a little earlier, it has opened the doors for some amazing opportunities that may not have otherwise, come about if it weren't for video. Okay. So really exciting. Oh, free bonus for coming today. This is your live stream flow chart. And so do make sure that you grab this. What you need to do to grab it is go to leslibytel.com/flow-chart. And I'm sure my team will put that in the chat. But, basically we designed this just so that you can have everything in one place in terms of the steps, right? I don't want you to forget about any important steps to ensure that your live stream goes off without a hitch. If you guys have questions, please email us. Email my team at clientcare@leslibytel.com. We're here to help. And let's take a little time for Q&A. So I earmarked 90 minutes total. So we have about 10 minutes for questions. Oh, and I do want to mention, if you're an RD or eligible, or if you need a CEU for today, put your email address in the chat, and someone from my team will send it to you over the next several days. Okay. All right. So let's open it up for questions. I am going to, let's see. All right. I'm going to kind of rely on my team to help me a little bit in managing questions if you guys have any. Let's see here.
And also, please feel free to raise your hand or unmute yourself. Tina wants to know, is there a CEU for the full course?
Good question. I can give you guys a CEU for the, so, the academies are really picky, right? So unfortunately, because it is pre-recorded, I cannot give you CEUs for the whole course, but I can give you 1.5 CEUs for the Q&A. How's that sound? We can do 1.5 CEUs for everyone that shows up for the live Q&A. So got to abide by, the Academy rules and regulations there. So they make it a little more challenging for stuff that's recorded. But we can definitely do it for the live. Okay. In fact, since we are on this call for 90 minutes, instead of 1 CEU, we can offer you guys 1.5. So just so my team, when you start sending these CEU certificates, we can put 1.5 on there instead. Every little bit counts, right? All right. What other questions do you guys have? How you feeling? Let's see. We've got Mimi, we've got Jen, Haley, Elise, Michelle. Let's see. Okay. Lots of people. Kim, Jen, Sarah, Aaron, Missy, Amanda, Tina, Lynn, Jeff. Hey, Jeff. All right, guys. So what questions do you have? You guys ready? Do you feel inspired? Oh, good. Thank you. Yeah. Guys, I'm pretty fired up over this topic. I really am. I get pretty passionate about things that, especially when I know in my bones that it's going to help you. Guys, I'm here to help. I want to make your journey, building your dream practice, your dream business is, seamless as possible. Video, hands down, the best way to do it. It is going to absolutely catapult you. Okay. So, so I hope, I hope everyone, oh, good. Okay. So Susan, excited. Awesome. Thank you so much. I need to do this. Yes. Okay. Well, let me ask you this. All right. I don't mean to put you on the spot, and good to see you, Susan. Not to put you on the spot, but what would your first step be? I can't resist, being that coach, right? To try to add in a little bit of accountability here. What would a good first step be other than doing, of course, doing my my program, I think would be an awesome first step. But in terms of like another action step, what do you feel like it is a good next step?
A good next step would probably be me announcing that I'm gonna do a live video on Facebook or something.
Okay.
I like you, I have to commit myself.
Yeah.
To show up. Otherwise, I might do like 5 false attempts and then go, oh, this is too hard. I'm out of time.
Yeah. No, it's true. That's why, no, you like think of how you can build in that accountability for sure. So yeah, I mean, if you tell your audience you're going to show up, you got to show up, right? You just got to. So, okay, I think that's great. So yeah, I would announce it. I would let them know for sure. Okay, love that. Okay, we do have a question. Okay, so this comes from Jen. I haven't started my practice yet. Is the course relevant or should I wait? Oh my gosh. Oh my God. It's so relevant. Don't wait. Like, honestly, and I'm not just saying this, like, I really do mean this authentically. you want to start to build your audience up, right? You want to have, like, you can be talking, like, even if you're a student, like, say hypothetically, we've got students here. It doesn't matter. You want to start getting the word out and growing your audience as soon as you possibly can. So I wouldn't wait. The reality is that you might start getting people who are interested in working with you. I mean, that is a really good problem to have. Let me just tell you. But if you're like many of us, that might cause some internal anxiety, like, oh my God, what am I going to say if, people want to work with me and I'm not ready? You just tell them, I'm not taking clients yet. Let me put you on a list, right? Like, you really are in charge. So I would not wait. I think it's a fantastic way to kind of get your, kind of dip your toe in, start to grow an audience. And you know what? Here's the thing, like, you guys are all, I'm guessing, right? I know I'm saying you all, but I think we're all educators at heart, right? Wouldn't you agree? Like, and I know we're super passionate about what we do. What better way to get the word out than through video and really provide value, while you benefit as well through growing your audience. And so I would get started sooner rather than later, start growing your audience. And then, when you decide, I mean, maybe you decide you just want to take a few clients, right? Maybe that's a next step. You can do that at any time, whenever you want, really. But it's great if you can kind of start with a built-in audience. Let's see here. Okay, let's see. So, let's see, is this from Elise? I realized that my clinical job, wait, I'm sorry. I retired. Okay, sorry, I couldn't read that. The font is so small on my computer right now. It's like microscopic. Okay, so Elise, I retired from my clinical job and I haven't started my private practice yet. Doing the work now to launch in 2023. Bravo. I love that. That's so exciting. Okay. Okay. Bridget says, thank you. I'm so happy to have you. Great. Guys, did I miss any questions?
Leslie, I sent you the document link
Oh,
in
you
private
did?
chat and in your text. So either way,
Okay. Awesome. All right, guys.
sorry.
Yep. No worries.
I was getting everybody's emails for the CEU, so I was a little behind on copying and pasting the
Okay.
question.
Okay. Oh, okay. We do have more questions. No problem. All right. Not too many, but just enough. All right. So Mimi, hey Mimi, good to see you here. Camera vanity question, tips for fast, inexpensive teeth straightening. Very self-conscious about, oh my gosh, everything's shifting with middle age. I don't know what to say about that. Tips for fast, inexpensive teeth straightening. I don't know what to say about that, but the one thing I will say is, again, and this is real, I will just say this. I don't know if I really have a solution for that other than good lighting and good lighting. And eventually, if you upgrade your camera, it makes a huge difference. Okay. And there are some little tips and tricks inside of Zoom, just saying, that can be helpful as well. Seriously helpful. And the other thing is, later, once you get started, like, I've noticed a huge difference when I upgraded my camera. Okay. Like, really, really significant difference. But again, like, I don't want that to hold you back because, it can be somewhat of a hindrance, but there are, little tips and tricks that you can do that can help you. But at the same time, I do want to remind you, really everyone, that I don't know how else to say it except we are our worst critics. Seriously, nobody else notices. Okay, seriously, I'm not just saying that. So, and the other thing is, we do tend to attract people kind of like our own age quite often. So I wouldn't think that, you know, middle age is necessarily it's not a bad thing. You're going to probably attract, people perhaps in your similar age group. All right. Why a weekly live or posted? This is from Aaron. Why a weekly live or posted video show versus marketing via Insta Reels? Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, it doesn't have to be either or, right? It doesn't have to be either or. I think it just kind of depends on how you want to go about it. Yeah, I mean, and it just really depends what you're comfortable with. I personally find it much more challenging to do Instagram Reels, but maybe that's just me. I just find that way more challenging rather than just, talking and just feeling connected to my audience, right? Because when I'm on doing it like a Facebook Live, there's interaction, there's connection, there's people asking questions. Usually I have a guest and we're having, a great time chatting. It's just like a completely different experience. So I would say it's not necessarily either or. It could be both. And I suppose some of it depends on your preference. Natalie, thoughts on the best video platform for reaching middle age and baby boomers? I would probably say Facebook. I mean, I would probably pick between, I mean, we go into this in so much more detail in the course. But just kind of at a high level, there's advantages to each of the platforms. So like the thing that I like about YouTube is you're searchable on Google, right? So that's a really nice benefit, especially if you're creating content, if you're creating videos that people are actually searching for. Okay. So that's a real benefit. You do have to be strategic, but it's searchable outside of YouTube per se. And that is not the case for like necessarily for Instagram. So like if I create a video and I post it on Instagram on, the 5 best strategies for video marketing, right? Like, and my ideal client is searching for that on Google, let's say, okay? If I create my video and upload it to Instagram, it's not going to show up unless that person is like looking in Instagram, right? In contrast, if I put that in YouTube and that person does a search, it very well may show up, right? So you can kind of see the differences there. I went with Facebook because because I knew I wanted to run ads, and there were just I have 4 Facebook groups, right? 4 private Facebook groups, and I wanted to leverage those. So I picked Facebook for a variety of reasons. That being said, I do want to point out that there is software available now, like third-party software that will enable you to live stream into multiple places at once now. Okay. Again, I would back burner that, like, don't let that overwhelm you. But it is possible, which is kind of nice. So now when I go live on my Facebook business page, 4 private Facebook groups, YouTube, and LinkedIn. It does not let you stream into Instagram yet, but that might change. So anyway, I would just say for that demographic, I probably would do Facebook, maybe YouTube, one of those for that particular demographic. All right, guys. I think it is time to wrap up. I want to thank you for spending your evening here. I hope more than anything that you are inspired to take action. Okay. Really want to encourage you to just like they say, go out and do it. Let's make this happen. I hope to see you inside of your own video show. As you know, we're going to have that live Q&A. So I hope to see you there as well. And I'll tell you what, when you guys start going live, tag me, I want to support you. So, tag me, let me know, and I'll do my best to show up and support you in that journey. All right, guys, see you soon. Thanks again. Have a great evening.